weeks ago, we talked about some what I thought was shocking news. The number one killer in North Dakota, diabetes. I would have guessed that in 1,000 years. Coming up on 10:07, I'm Chris Berg. Good morning. Happy Monday. Wherever you are and however you may be listening, thanks for kicking your week off with me right here on AM 1100 The Flag or online at chrisbergshow.com. Also, you can listen to me on our new iPhone or Android app. Just go to your app store and search. It's free, absolutely free. Just go to your app store and search Great Plains Integrated Marketing. Download the app and listen to us anywhere, anytime. Questions, comments for the show, number to call in, 271-1100. Again, that's 271-1100, or just email me, T-A-L-K, talk at chrisbergshow.com. We're going to have some time for open phones towards the end of the hour, get to the most important part of the show, and that's you. The second most important part of the show, Dr. Spencer Berry from FargoMedicalWeightLoss.com. Dr. Berry, thanks for coming back in. A couple weeks ago, we were visiting about this diabetes situation in North Dakota, growing at a very, very rapid rate, obesity growing very rapidly. But again, I want to go back to the biggest killer in North Dakota. It still shocks me, Doc, even though we did discuss it for a little bit a couple Mondays ago. Just help bring people up to speed on how pervasive this problem is becoming.
Again, good morning, Chris. Yes, the issue of diabetes in North Dakota and in the nation at large is growing and growing dramatically, and it is directly related to the problems we have with overweight and obesity in the United States. We're seeing a tremendous rise in the diagnosis of diabetes, in fact, and also in the number of patients who are undiagnosed currently who don't realize they have it, where there's a very significant number of those as well. And what this does, the development of diabetes, and even before that, as folks are pre-diabetic or insulin resistant, this is all part of the same paradigm. As this occurs with diabetes, it's the damage that we see with the inflammation caused by this that relates to heart disease, as well as strokes, heart attacks, limb dysfunction, kidney failure, and then ultimately some of the different cancers that are related to these high inflammatory levels. And so it is such a pervasive illness in terms of affecting so many body systems, and the end organ damage is so high that's where they ultimately, as you trace risk factors back, that's why diabetes rates so high on that scale.
Again, Dr. Spencer Berry, FargoMedicalWeightLoss.com, here inside the PetroServe USA studio. Doc, I think, I talk to more and more people that are going to your clinic. One of the things that they appreciate is that it's simple, it's easy, and it's based on science. There's no fluffy fluff. Talk to us about the science aspect of this for people that are I think everybody out there, I mean, myself included, I'd love to lose 10 to 15 pounds. I don't know anybody that says, I don't want to lose weight. So for those people that maybe are thinking about it, and obviously some people may need your help more than others from the diabetic standpoint, but what's the science behind this so that we can go, all right, that sounds pretty simple, I can do that?
Well, exactly, Chris, and we do work with a lot of patients literally every day who are looking to do just that, lose 10 to 15, maybe 20 pounds, as well as those needing to lose far greater numbers. And again, we deal with all of these patients individually, work with them to meet their goals. And basically what's going on, I tell patients to rely on the science, that what we're using and the utilization of the medical model that we have at our clinic, this is making available to patients the latest research-based evidence on what is good nutrition and how do we maintain our body weight through time. And so I tell patients, rely on this science. When they follow and adhere to what we discuss and the nutritional concepts that we're putting forth, as patients adhere to these, they don't have to wonder if it's going to work. They know that it will. And that's the nice thing.
What's some of the science behind it?
Well, again, some of the biggest things, right now, we're seeing quite a controversy, if you will, as to dietary guidelines in the United States, whether it's the American Diabetes Association, the USDA, the American American Heart. Everybody comes out and publishes their own ideas of what is healthy. And what we're finding now is that at this point, we probably do not take in enough protein, and we're probably taking in far too many carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, as we take them in, ultimately that is what sugar. Sugar comes in the form of carbohydrates. And there's either the simple sugars or the starches. Either way, they get broken down into sugar when they're in the bloodstream, and the body stores sugar as fat. And so one of the biggest things folks need to do is to learn how to very easily determine, and that can be done, how to very easily determine how much, quote, sugar is in, or how many carbohydrates are in the various things that are out there, and to keep those to a moderate level, the level that's healthy for them, and that will help them prevent from putting on the extra pounds. Because again, it's that extra sugar through the source of carbohydrates that is driving the weight epidemic in this country.
So what are some tips you can give us? Because I think, most people would understand that. Again, Dr. Spencer Berry here inside the PetroServe USA studio. You can check out his website. It's a free consultation. Let me repeat that. It is a free consultation to go see him. You can go to FargoMedicalWeightLoss.com. Number to call in, 271-1100. What are some ways to make more high-protein snacks easy to eat? Because let's be honest, it's easy to go grab a cookie. It's easy to go grab something that typically has got a lot of carbohydrates. So what are some strategies so we can go, okay, I can go grab this for a snack, something to satiate me, and it's not going to be so carbohydrate laden?
Well, again, a lot of folks are starting to use things like cheese sticks, along with they may wrap them in some deli meat, say for a snack. That's an excellent. Almonds, any form of a nut. Now, again, not peanuts per se, but nuts. Almonds.
Cashews?
Almonds. Cashews are a little bit on the other end. I would say, again, almonds probably make the best nut in that per serving you'll generally get a fair amount of protein, which is very satisfying to the appetite, and and a very, very low amount of carbohydrate. And so you get very little sugar. And so folks that use almonds to snack on, say mid-morning or in the afternoon if they need something, they find that 4 or 5 or 6 almonds totally satisfies their hunger, if you will, or that need for something. And yet, again, the sugar content is so low that, again, the weight will continue to come off and stay down.
4 or 5, 6 almonds satiates people?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, many patients, one of the biggest concerns folks have, they think, well, what about my sweet cravings? I have a lot of cravings for sweets, and where is that going to come from? Well, it turns out that a lot of that has been derived by the diet we've been eating. And as we put on body weight, there's a lot of metabolic changes that occur that drive that, if you will, that craving for sweets. And as individuals start to drop body weight and start to eat correctly with higher protein, less carbohydrate intake, they find that it's not a matter of missing. People are worried they're going to miss their sweets. They don't miss them. They don't have the cravings for them. As they start to eat correctly, they find that they don't. They many times will say, "Gosh, it's just amazing. I didn't realize how much I did not need."
271-1100. Dr. Spencer Berry in studio. FargoMedicalWeightLoss.com is his program. Free consultation. If you just call him up and say, hey, you know what? I heard this on the Chris Berg show. You can sit down with an MD and he'll coach you up on some things for your health. Whether you think it's the right program or not, you got nothing to lose. But as Joe Heilman says, accept the weight. 271-1100. Karen, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes. I would like to lose 10 pounds, and please discuss if I incorporate not eating anything after 9 o'clock as part of the diet.
That was my next question. Karen, great question.
Again, thank you for the question. At this point in time, when you say eating anything after 9, I assume that means 9 p.m. and prior to bedtime. And there is some current ongoing research as to this effect. A lot of times folks will say, yeah, if I work late and then eat, then it all stays with me. Not at this point, that is not felt to be as big a factor as the other things, such as starting out the day with more protein and staying away from carbohydrates or sugars until later in the day. So that is not felt to be the number one issue. The biggest thing, and for those folks looking to lose, as I say, 10 to 15 pounds, those last 10 to 15 pounds are the most critical and tend to be the most difficult, because now you're getting down to the point where the amount of calorie deficit is going to be the smallest. And what folks find is that the occurrence or the adding of any resistance type exercise, by that I mean something that will help maintain muscle weight, which is probably the most important factor for ladies between the ages of 35 and 65, is maintaining their lean muscle mass. And this is something that we talk about and we help ladies incorporate at the clinic, so that as they maintain muscle mass through time, and again, we're not talking about training for the London Olympics here, we're talking about maintaining good lean mass. It will help patients' metabolic rates stay higher and therefore help them to maintain that healthy weight.
Dr. Spencer Berg, I want to give you the last word, 60 seconds or anything else you want to share?
Well, again, the biggest thing, again, Chris, I ask patients, is to rely on the science. What we're doing at the clinic is not simply evolutionary. It's somewhat revolutionary in the fact that what we're looking at is the appropriate dietary standards as they're coming out of the research throughout the universities, throughout the United States. Now, again, the stuff that comes out of Washington telling us what we should eat and how much, those are very heavily lobbied as to who's got input as to what they need to have in there. The stuff that's coming out of the research is basically stuff that these scientists are looking at and finding out what is it that makes the body run. How is it that our body is meant to run? How does it run most efficiently? When we give our body the proper fuel, and as I like to say, when we feed the machine properly, it runs more efficiently and with less problems.
Dr. Spencer Berg, FargoMedicalWeightLoss.com. Again, you can get a free consultation, whether it's 10 to 15 pounds like I'd like to lose, or maybe you've got more, maybe you've got high blood pressure, maybe you want to get off some meds, whatever it might be. Dr. Spencer Berg can help you take a look at that and get off those meds. You got one last thing you want to share, Doc?
Well, just mentioning that a lot of folks sometimes are concerned about coming in to the clinic feeling that one of the things we're going to have them do is to start to train and exercise vigorously. And I think it's important to know what we like to say is that you do not exercise to lose weight. You lose weight to become more physically active. And in fact, you cannot exercise enough to make up for poor nutritional choices. So it all starts with good nutritional choices. And then as individuals start to drop body mass and feel better, they start to want to get active, they get more active. And again, you mentioned earlier in your show about time being so important. And I would agree with you. And the better health that we stay in and provide our body with, the better choices we're able to use our time.
Dr. Berg, thank you very much.